Alright guys, let's check your answers to the problem you just worked on. So the graph of y equals g of x is shown. The nice thing with this notation is it's straight up telling you that y is the same thing as g of x. So there's no real trick there. It's just saying, hey, g of x is y, a fancy word for y, which is what we've been saying all along. Now let's evaluate each of the following. G of 3. Well, all I need to remember is that 3 is my x value, and I'm looking for my y value. So I'm going to go to 1, 2, 3 in the x, go up to where my function is, and it looks like we are at 9. So g of 3 is 9. For g of 0, again, 0 is my x value. I want to know what's my y value. So I go to 0 in the x, and I actually end up with 0 in the y as well. So g of 0 equals 0. Or when my x value is 0, my y value is also 0 for this function. All right, g of -4. -4 is x. What is y? I'm going to go to -4 in my x direction, find my function. My y value is -2, so g of -4 is -2. Now we are up to g of -2. So same thing every time. -2 is my x value. When x is -2, what is y? Well, when x is -2, y equals 4. All right. So our first chunk of this is done. Again, I'm always just looking for, given my certain x value, what is y? Now things change a little bit on the second part again. We need to find x values that make the following true. So g of x equals -2 is just saying that y is -2. Well, where does that happen? I'm going to go to my y value of -2, kind of visually scroll across. This would work, and that's it. So in order for y to equal -2, I know that my x value is -4. And if you notice, this actually corresponds to what we did up here. So g of -4 equals -2. Well, it's the same thing. All right, we are looking for g of x equals 0. All right, so I'm going to go to where my y values are 0. Well, I have one here. Y is 0 over here. And y is 0 over here. This one's not a perfect spot. I think I called it -3.5 on your little quiz thing. So about -3.5 gives me a y value of 0. When x is 0, my y value is 0. And when x is 7, my y value is 0. All right, and then the final one, I want to know where my y value, g of x, again, just y, equals 9. So I'm going to go to my y values of 9, nothing here. Oh, I have a spot over here. And that corresponds to an x value of 3. So if y equals 9, I know that x has to equal 3. This again corresponds up here to this guy. They're saying the same thing, but the question is being asked in two different ways. But they're still talking about the same point, which is just 3, 9. All right. So on your next page, you're going to have one more question to answer, and then I want you to work independently on that sheet on the back. If you have any questions, again, feel free to consult with the people around you, but I want you primarily to try it on your own. Good luck!